Hey, I'm Greg, and this is my front-loading washer. It is great. It's been giving us an error code that says that it is not draining right, and I need to clean out the drain filter, which according to most washing machines apparently you're supposed to do once a month. I'll show you where our drain filter is though. On most of these front-load washers, or many of them, there's an access panel because the drain filter is right behind here. So we have to take everything apart to get to that, so that'll be fun. So I will show how that goes. And of course, down at the front we find that there's a certain kind of screw that is in there. It's a Torx screw, and so I don't have one of those screwdrivers here, so as I often do during a project, I am off to the hardware store to get one of those because that's just awesome. So I'm back from Walmart. I've got my $5 Torx screwdriver. There's 3 screws on here that require this because they couldn't use all the same kind of screw. That would really mess everyone up. So we got that, and an unexpected part of this that really stands out right about now is how much the whole house smells like someone took a giant dump because that drain, as that water is coming out, whew, that smelled, and I'm pretty sure that when we get down to the rest of it, it's going to smell even worse, so that's fine. Just like that, there's the drain. There's the drain clean out. That's all there was to it. Just had to take all that stuff off. It's gonna get gross here, people. So we're gonna empty that out and see what kind of gross things come. All right, got my bucket. Ready to be grossed out. Oh man, that reeks. There's like 5 bobby pins, some change. You see that? That is pretty gross. And they say to clean that out once a month, which is difficult when it is buried that far in there. It smells a little, so. All right, we're gonna go clean this off and we'll be right back. All right, so here is the drain, freshly installed. I've gone and thrown up from the smell, and now we'll put it on time lapse to see how long it takes to put this thing back together. I'm thinking 45 minutes to an hour. Thanks. Just a couple more screws to go. The top is all that is left. All right, so here we have it. It is running. We'll We'll check in on it a little bit later. It usually gets about 10 minutes in before we lose the whole cycle and get the error message. There it is. It's been going for at least 10-15 minutes and it is still running. Normally we get our error message by now. We'll check in a little bit later, make sure it's done. Well, great news. As you can see up here, the error code is back after having the washer taken apart and put back together again. So I don't know if there's another obstruction in the drain line, so we'll try pulling it apart again and seeing what we can do to get that fixed, because that's fun. All right, thanks. And we're back. We've got the old trusty front-loading washing machine here, ready to do battle once again and find out what is clogging up this stupid drain. Here we go. So I pulled the drain out from underneath the tub. Got this nice little hairball out of that. Not sure if that is affecting the drain sensor or not, but hey, it's worth a shot. Try reinstalling and see what happens. Alright, so we have pulled out all the drains in here, cleaned them out, got some nasty hairballs out of them. And now all the hoses are reattached, so hopefully the washer doesn't dump water all over the floor, but there's always a chance. And wave to Elise in the background there. Not sure what she's doing, but yeah, all right. And yeah, we're gonna try to reassemble it again. Put back together again for the second time. This time we've cleaned out more of the drains on the inside and used a few more bowling words on the time lapse, so that's fun. Because it's late, I put everything back together and didn't plug the control panel back in, so I'm going to pull it out, pop the lid, plug the control panel back in, and give it another try. Alright, so we are going again. What you missed was a couple of things. We had, because it was late, I forgot to put the fill line back into the gasket for the main tub, so it was filling into the bottom of the washing machine, which was not good. So I pulled it out and reassembled that part. Was actually able to reach in from the top, and then fired it up again, and that worked a little better until I heard water hitting the bottom. And I did not have the bottom drain that comes out of the tub. I didn't have the gasket clear on that, so that was a little loose. It started draining out the bottom, but now it's I don't know, probably 1 o'clock in the morning now, and I think we're about done. I think it's good, so fingers crossed, but I'm not gonna be able to sleep till this is done because I don't want water dumping out on our floor again. So nice, have a good night. Alright, so great news. We got a couple parts today. I'm going to try this. This is a water pressure sensor. If this goes bad, it's going to think that it needs to keep draining when it doesn't need to drain. So hopefully this might be an easy fix. If not, I also have another drain pump that's here. We're going to try this one first, and I think I can even do it without disconnecting all the hookups. We're going to give that a shot first. Enjoy. Times we've had trouble with towels. We're going to try it with a load of towels and see how that goes. Alright, so we are at 55 minutes. This has been going about half an hour, 40 minutes. No sign of any issues yet. Didn't get the SUD warning. Haven't got any of the error codes, so fingers crossed. Crud. The SUD sensor's going off again, so maybe it wasn't the sensor in there, so we'll see what happens, but it's just sitting waiting to drain right now. So here we are, my new nightly tradition of going and pulling the washing machine out of the laundry room, taking it apart and putting it back together. Today we'll be doing the drain pump and checking out the drain lines again, so it'll be a fun time. Thanks for joining us. So in this last fix we tried replacing the drain pump. Unfortunately the drain pump that I got had the wrong mount on the bottom of it for this model washer. So I just took off the motor with the impeller and mounted that to the other housing. It looks like a pretty standard fit. Looks like it fit in there nicely with no issues. Hopefully it's a watertight seal. We'll find out soon enough. Now we're just on a quick wash to see if we get the drain to work, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so we've got it on a quick rinse, drain span. It's on quick wash, so hopefully we'll know here shortly if this is working. We got about 22 minutes, and we'll know probably about 10-15 minutes in if it's broken, so this is probably the last thing we can try. Alright, I am cautiously optimistic. It has gone through the wash cycle into the rinse, and the drain has run a couple times now, and you can hear the water running through the drain pipe, and it is seems to be going, so fingers crossed, but that could have been the final thing, so hopefully that fixes it. It's just, you know, $50 for the parts, and really 20 of that I didn't need for the sensor, but yeah, there it is. And then we also had, you know, about 8 hours of putting stuff in there. That's the drain going. Still going. Alright, so you can see up there, 2 minutes left in this cycle. It is drained. We haven't had the SUD error. We haven't had any other error messages. 1 minute. I'm so excited. I am so excited. This was the last thing we could try, and I think it's working. We're done! It did it. It did it. Completed the cycle. Yes! Victory lap. Hey, thanks for watching this 20-minute video that only took 14 hours to make.